Have you ever walked away from a conversation with a woman feeling more confused than when it started? Maybe she said one thing, but her behavior seemed to tell a completely different story. It's a situation many men experience, and it often leads to frustration, overthinking, and unnecessary conflict. The reality is that communication isn't always as straightforward as it appears. People don't always express exactly what they're feeling. Emotions, past experiences, fear, and personal insecurities can all influence the words someone chooses. This isn't unique to women, everyone does it to some extent. But in romantic relationships, these differences in communication can become especially noticeable. One of the biggest mistakes a man can make is assuming every sentence should be interpreted literally. Words matter, but they don't always tell the complete story. The real message is often found in someone's behavior, consistency, and the context surrounding the conversation. In today's video, we're exploring 7 statements that many men hear in relationships or while dating. These phrases are often misunderstood because men tend to focus only on the words instead of the emotions and circumstances behind them. This discussion isn't about accusing women of being dishonest or manipulative. Instead, it's about becoming a better observer and learning to recognize the difference between what someone says and what their actions consistently reveal. Stay with me until the end, because the final statement is one that has caused countless men to make emotional decisions they later regretted. Let's begin. 1. I have trust issues. At first, this sounds like an honest confession. It can even feel like she's opening up and allowing you to understand her better. Many men immediately respond by thinking, "I'll prove that I'm different." They become extra patient, ignore red flags, and convince themselves that enough love, loyalty, and reassurance will erase the pain from her past. Unfortunately, relationships don't usually work that way. When someone tells you they struggle with trust, they're sharing something important about their emotional state. Their experiences may include betrayal, broken promises, or unhealthy relationships that left lasting emotional scars. Those experiences deserve empathy, but they aren't your responsibility to fix. A healthy relationship requires both people to take responsibility for their own emotional healing. If one person expects the other to repair years of unresolved pain, the relationship often becomes emotionally exhausting. Instead of asking yourself how you can save her, ask a different question. Is she actively working on those trust issues herself? There's a huge difference between someone who acknowledges a problem and works to overcome it, and someone who repeatedly uses the same emotional wounds to justify unhealthy behavior. Emotionally mature people understand that healing is their own responsibility. Support from a partner is valuable, but it can never replace personal growth. So if you hear someone say they have trust issues, don't treat it like a challenge you need to conquer. Treat it as valuable information that helps you understand where they are emotionally. Pay attention to how they communicate. Notice whether they accept responsibility for their reactions. Most importantly, observe whether their actions show progress over time. Remember, compassion is important, but sacrificing your own emotional well-being to rescue someone rarely creates a healthy relationship. 2. I'm dating with intentions. This phrase has become increasingly common in modern dating. On the surface, it sounds exactly like what every serious man wants to hear. It suggests maturity, commitment, and a desire for a long-term relationship. Sometimes that's exactly what it means. But emotionally intelligent men know that words alone are never enough. Instead of focusing only on the statement itself, they pay attention to the person's lifestyle, choices, and relationship history. Anyone can say they're looking for something serious. The more important question is, do their actions support those words? Someone who truly wants a meaningful relationship usually demonstrates qualities like consistency, honesty, emotional stability, and accountability. They don't just talk about commitment, they behave in ways that make commitment possible. People grow over time. Priorities change. Someone who wasn't ready for a serious relationship years ago may genuinely be ready today. There's nothing wrong with that. However, growth should be visible through actions, not just attractive conversations. Many men become emotionally invested after hearing the right words, while ignoring behavior that tells a completely different story. Instead of rushing to believe promises, slow down and observe patterns. Consistency always speaks louder than declarations. Real intentions aren't proven in one conversation. They're revealed through everyday actions, difficult moments, and the choices someone continues making over time. That's why emotionally mature men don't judge someone's future by a single sentence. They watch for consistent behavior, because behavior is far more reliable than promises. Number 3. Looks don't matter. This is one of the most misunderstood statements you'll ever hear. When many men hear these words, they assume physical appearance has no influence on attraction. That's not entirely true. The reality is much more balanced. Initial attraction often begins with appearance, because it's the first thing people notice. However, lasting attraction is built on much more than looks alone. Confidence, emotional stability, ambition, self-respect, communication skills, and a positive attitude all play major roles in how attractive someone becomes over time. A man who constantly works on himself, stays healthy, dresses well, and carries himself with confidence often leaves a stronger impression than someone who relies only on natural good looks. On the other hand, ignoring your health, grooming, or personal development, while believing appearance doesn't matter, can hurt your chances in any relationship. The real message behind this statement is usually that appearance is only one piece of a much bigger picture. Take care of yourself, not to impress others, but because self-respect is naturally attractive. The strongest relationships aren't built on physical attraction alone, but maintaining your appearance shows discipline, confidence, and pride in yourself. 4. Money doesn't matter. This statement is similar to the previous one. Taken literally, it can easily be misunderstood. Most emotionally mature women aren't searching for someone with unlimited wealth or a luxury lifestyle. At the same time, financial responsibility is an important part of building a stable future together. When someone says money isn't the most important thing, they're often talking about something deeper than a bank balance. Money frequently represents stability. It reflects responsibility. It shows the ability to plan ahead, solve problems, and contribute to a healthy partnership. There's a big difference between someone who isn't wealthy and someone who is careless with finances. A man doesn't need to be rich to be attractive, but showing responsibility, ambition, and the willingness to improve your situation can make a significant difference. Many men make one of two mistakes. Some believe money alone will make them desirable, while others assume financial success doesn't matter at all. Neither extreme reflects reality. Strong relationships are built on trust, communication, mutual respect, emotional support, and shared goals. Financial stability simply makes it easier to handle life's challenges together. So when you hear someone say money doesn't matter, don't focus only on the sentence itself. Instead, pay attention to whether both partners demonstrate responsibility, maturity, and a willingness to build a secure future together. In the end, lasting attraction comes from the complete package, not just income, and certainly not income alone. 5. I'm not looking for a father for my kids. If you've ever dated a single mother, you've probably heard this phrase. At first, it can sound reassuring. It suggests that she isn't expecting you to immediately take on a parental role or carry responsibilities that aren't yours. In many cases, that's exactly what she means. However, relationships naturally evolve over time. As two people become closer, they spend more time together, create shared experiences, and become part of each other's daily lives. If children are involved, it's almost impossible to avoid building some type of relationship with them as well. You may begin by simply meeting them occasionally. Later, you might attend family events, offer advice, or help with everyday situations. Without realizing it, your role gradually becomes more important. That doesn't mean anyone has been dishonest. It simply means serious relationships often bring greater responsibility as trust grows. Before entering a long-term relationship with someone who has children, don't make your decision based only on what life looks like today. Ask yourself an important question. If this relationship becomes permanent, am I comfortable with everything that comes along with it? Thinking ahead isn't negativity, it's maturity. Healthy relationships require honesty about future expectations, not just present emotions. The strongest men understand that commitment isn't only about loving one person. It's also about accepting the reality of the life that comes with that relationship. 6. I'm not ready for a relationship. This is one of the most common and most misunderstood phrases in modern dating. Many men hear these words and immediately assume they simply need to wait. They believe that if they remain patient, supportive, and available, she'll eventually realize they're the right choice. Sometimes that happens, but very often it doesn't. There are genuine reasons why someone may not be ready for a relationship. They may still be recovering from a painful breakup, focusing on personal growth, dealing with family responsibilities, or trying to rebuild their emotional health. Those situations deserve understanding. However, instead of trying to convince someone to change their mind, pay attention to what happens after the conversation. Do their actions continue showing interest? Do they consistently make time for you? Are they slowly building trust and moving the relationship forward? Or do they quickly become emotionally invested in someone else? If the second situation occurs, the message usually wasn't that they were against relationships altogether. It simply meant they didn't see that particular relationship as the right one for them. While that may be difficult to accept, it's valuable information. Emotionally mature men don't argue with someone's decision or try to negotiate attraction. They respect what they've been told and continue moving forward with confidence. One of the biggest mistakes you can make is waiting for someone to become emotionally available while putting your own life on hold. Your time, energy, and emotional well-being are valuable. Invest them in people who are equally willing to invest in you. Remember this: when words leave you uncertain, consistent actions almost always provide the clearest answer. Don't build your future around possibilities. Build it around reality. 7. You're the only one. This is perhaps the most emotionally powerful statement someone can hear in a relationship. When a woman looks into your eyes and says, "You're the only one I want," it's natural to feel secure. Many men immediately assume the relationship is permanent and stop paying attention to the things that truly keep a relationship healthy. But emotions are often strongest in the present moment. That doesn't mean the words are false. It simply means feelings can change if trust is broken, respect disappears, or both people stop investing in the relationship. Healthy love isn't built on one emotional conversation. It's built on hundreds of small choices made over time. Someone who truly values you won't just express it with words. They'll demonstrate it through consistency, honesty, loyalty, and mutual effort. That's why emotionally mature men don't rely solely on emotional promises. They observe whether actions continue matching those promises week after week and month after month. Real commitment isn't measured by what someone says during a romantic moment. It's measured by how they treat you when life becomes stressful, disagreements happen, or challenges appear. Words may create hope. Consistent behavior creates trust. The strongest relationships are built on both. Final thoughts. The purpose of this discussion isn't to encourage suspicion or to suggest that every statement has a hidden meaning. Every individual communicates differently, and no single phrase can fully explain a person's intentions. The real lesson is much simpler. Don't judge a relationship by words alone. Pay attention to actions. Observe patterns. Notice consistency. Whether someone talks about trust, commitment, attraction, finances, or love, the most reliable evidence is found in what they repeatedly do, not just what they occasionally say. This principle applies to everyone, regardless of gender. People make promises. People experience emotions. But lasting character is revealed through consistent behavior over time. If someone's actions repeatedly support their words, trust naturally grows. If their behavior constantly contradicts what they say, that's valuable information too. Emotionally intelligent people don't waste energy trying to decode every sentence or search for hidden messages. Instead, they stay patient, remain observant, communicate openly, and allow time to reveal the truth. Healthy relationships aren't built through assumptions. They're built through honesty, respect, mutual effort, and consistent actions. Before you make important emotional decisions, always ask yourself one question. Do this person's actions consistently support their words? More often than not, the answer to that question will tell you everything you need to know. If you found this video helpful, let us know in the comments which point stood out to you the most. Your experience might help someone else see relationships from a new perspective. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more videos exploring psychology, relationships, self-improvement, and human behavior. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.